Family, family, family. It it's gotten different. That's the best way I can describe it. K Relly. Yes, I said K Relly. The only reason I'm doing this video on this individual is because I've already been gotten. I don't know if it's because of the numerous videos I've been making lately. I don't know if it's just the dude video that I did. That was my Harlem Shake. My take that. I don't know, but I said forget it. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this. Poetic Flacco, shout out to him. He made a video last week, almost exactly a week ago, if I ain't mistaken, and he said some things. It was some reports that came out that there's an individual, K Relly, that was behind bars, and there were supposed to be some things done. Now today, it was reported last night. I just didn't feel like getting to it. I was kind of discouraged. Anyway, oh yeah, $ Trap House Kitchen one, y'all. They got me. They got me. Anyway, I was gonna do the video last night, but I was just discouraged. Like, what for? I ain't gonna get paid for it, this and that. But I had to do it. I had to. Once I seen Flacco comment or make this video, I had to tap in. So, look out for your boy, $ Trap House Kitchen 1, and let's get it.
This is suspicious. We reported last week that prison officials put a hit out on R. Kelly, and we ran through a 40-minute video exactly why they did it, who did it, and why. Everybody called us crazy. Approximately a week later, we learned today that R. Kelly just had an overdose due to a mistake that prison officials made with his medication. You can't make this up, people. And the details surrounding the overdose is even more suspicious.
One thing that Flacco said stood out. People called them crazy. When you speak about certain things and people don't believe it, they tend to say that. And that's how they get this thing off. What are the chances, y'all? What are the chances? Come on, man. They play in our face. There, I said it. They play in our face. It's only so much that you can see and understand, or even not understand, to the point where you got to question it. You got to question the probability. What's the probability? This man's been down for a while. Now that something develops, what's the issue? How do you not misdiagnose, but how do you medicate somebody when you've been doing it for a few years now? Allegedly.
Okay, so this news is actually breaking right now. Shout out to Baller Alert, who was the first outlet that we saw actually posted it. But last night, R. Kelly's team filed an emergency filing. I received the filing a little bit after midnight. So I believe that's why it's breaking right now, is because outlets are waking up. So in the emergency filing, they allege that R. Kelly was giving an additional dose of medication by prison staff. And they're alleging that because of that additional medication that he was instructed to take and that he actually took, he suffered a...
I know what you're thinking. Man, Kel's trying to set himself to the upper room to get out of prison. Trust me, I thought the same thing, bro. All right? Ain't nobody more distrusting of these malefactors than me. However, bro, when you look at the details, they are very strict on you taking medicine. So they hand you the medicine and they watch you take it in front of them, and they control the dosage. So there's no way that Kels could have manipulated this to give himself an intentional overdose. It is just not possible. And then also you look at the surrounding factors. R. Kelly got wind that the BOP officers were trying to 3 days after he was given access to 13,000 pages of information revealing who the officers were that illegally accessed his information and sold it to the media when he was behind bars. That's a criminal offense. Those those officers on that 13,000 pages, they could go to jail.
How is it that two people in the past month have gotten more information about their cases, and then suddenly stuff happens? How do you explain that? What's so important in that information? What's so important in that information that could possibly jeopardize what's going on, to where this man could possibly walk away from everything that's going on and also walk away paid? Probably more paid than he was as an artist, let's be real. If you think it's a coincidence, you could be right. I'll leave it at that.
And then 3 days after R. Kelly got that information, he found out they trying to murder him. They trying to hire inmates to get him out of here. And then 2 days after he came to the media about discovering the ploy to murder him in prison, he accidentally, after one of the BOP officers gave him medication that apparently was a dosage too high. At some point, we got to put our thinking caps on and say, okay, bruh, there's clearly something nefarious going on here. Obviously, bruh. Obviously. Now, the dosage was not where they stopped at. This wasn't where they stopped at in this ploy to murder R. Kelly, bruh. Because even after they made him dose, when he went to the hospital, the doctors discovered something that could potentially be fatal to R. Kelly, a condition. And the prison official said, nah, let him. Don't operate on him.
See, and that's what I always say, y'all. You got to look at these situations for what they are. How does he administer himself extra to where this situation takes place? Does he got some chipmunk jaws, paws, and he can just keep it dry and the side of his mouth tucked away, paws? I'm gonna leave it at that, but y'all get what I'm getting to. Like, how did he give himself more? How did he up the dosage? Does he know magic?
R. Kelly was then told he should stay 7 days in that hospital for surgery, and then it would be an additional 2 weeks because of whatever care they were going to need to give him. Mm-hmm. But his legal team alleges that once the prison was contacted, R. Kelly was then removed against his will by guards from the prison and was not allowed to be treated. And they are saying that basically this could kill him because of the clots and the care that they are alleging he is not receiving.
I understand. This is a tricky situation. R. Kelly is a despicable human being. R. Kelly has done things that nobody can co-sign. So if you hear that they're trying to fast track R. Kelly to send him to the upper room or down below, you don't care, because he is being accused of doing things to the most vulnerable people in our society. Tasha K received R. Kelly's emails, visitor logs, call logs, and she published that. And that in turn got R. Kelly's girlfriend to turn against him once she found out R. Kelly was cheating on her from behind bars, and then she testified against R. Kelly as a result of that. So clearly something nefarious, clearly something criminal took place here. There's criminal conduct that affects over 60 correctional officers. Over 60. This is going to be one of the biggest jail busts I think we've ever witnessed in the history of jails. Over 60 correctional officers were involved in a ring of stealing R. Kelly's information and selling it to the media. And R. Kelly finally has access to that information, and then all of a sudden, right when he gets access, we see multiple attempts on his life.
Now, they do say that all of this can be proven. They say that the things with him getting to solitary confinement and taking that additional medicine allegedly will be on prison cameras. They say on prison cameras you will see R. Kelly arrive to solitary confinement. When you arrive there, because he takes medicines already for anxiety and sleep and other things, you have to show your medicine to guards, which they say is on camera. And then they say you will see the additional medicine being brought to R. Kelly on camera as well. And that the stuff at the hospital with the clots and not being treated, all of those accusations, they say can also be proven via hospital records. So they filed this emergency motion trying to bring light to this, to the same court that they are saying, hey, all this other stuff is happening. We're telling you he needs to be released because it is not
But
safe
why?
for him.
Why does R. Kelly and his team feel like the feds are trying to kill him? Because he's not coming out until what, December 21st, 2045. He received 30 years in federal prison. So why does he think they're killing him? What does R. Kelly know that makes the feds want to kill him?
So according to R. Kelly's legal team in the first filing, and they reiterated in this one, that whole plot to uncover the fact that there were things that were done wrong when it came to, remember I talked about like the flipping of the witnesses and all these things that they're alleging happened. Basically, they're saying the government and the prison officials have been covering up the fact that they did whatever they needed to do to convict R. Kelly allegedly. And his new legal team, in trying to file for other things, discovered that and brought it in, planned to bring it to light, and they found out. So this is all a way to cover that up. That is what R. Kelly's team is alleging.
They say dude did some different type things, and one could believe it. But this is what I always say. Some people allow a certain amount of things to take place, so when they have to make their move, it'll be easier for them to make their move on you, if you catch my drift. Even like, say if I think somebody's taking something from me, I might leave something out for them to take. Might even hide a camera and log it. And then when I feel like I'm tired of this or that, I might say, hey, come here real quick. Do this, or I'm gonna have to handle this like this. I got you on tape 12 times. So go handle this, or I'm gonna have to do this. What do you think that person's gonna do? They're gonna do whatever they can to make this situation go away. And that's what a lot of these people fall under, is even Durkio, Smirkio. I talk about him and his case that he had, where it's like, hold on, you're on camera, arm out the window, and flash is coming from your hand, and you and Vaughn, and what? You're still walking around? Now look, they're talking about if that boy want to get out, he has to give up future residuals, all type of stuff. He got to give up his likeliness, basically. Make it make sense, y'all. I'm out. Peace.